I followed my dreams and opened an antique store to have adventures and spend time as a family. Sometimes you have to climb a mountain and open some new doors to find the treasures inside. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, so this morning, about a half an hour ago, I went out to a house and unfortunately the gentleman had passed away, he had no heirs, and the estate had reached out to me to see if I was interested in purchasing some of his collectibles. So I went to the house, they put a few boxes aside. I haven't even gone through them yet, but I could kind of see from the top of the boxes that there was some cool stuff. So we're going to unload the van, we're going to pack it inside of the shop here and go through and see if there's anything cool. So let's check it out. Some of the things on top of the pile are these vintage automotive jackets. Now, some guys wear them to car club meets, some guys wear them just for fashion, but vintage 60s, 70s, and early 80s jackets like this can be pretty collectible. These are automotive or towing jackets, and really cool piece. So I've started to bring some of the boxes into the shop here, and the fellow let me a couple of the baskets and bins. I got to get back to him, but I can see on the top right now, some of these are plastic model kits, not die cast, so I have to be really careful that I don't break them. But there are people who do actually collect plastic model kits. I kind of bought these because I have a customer in mind who asked me to keep a lookout for plastic models, so I got to go through and make sure I get all the pieces out of this bin as well. It looks like there's... okay, well this one's die cast. That one's metal, so cool little hot rod on a trailer. And it looks like there's a truck that might match it here too. Here we go. Yeah, so that's probably might be a set. And that's the grill, so I might have to put that guy back in. But at least it's there, it's not lost. And we've got Cudas and muscle cars. This is a Snap-on dealer toy truck. I'm not sure the age of that. Could be maybe 1980s, somewhere around there. But it's still in the box, which is kind of nice. And another little die-cast Corvette. That's funny, they've been using these moccasins as packing, but these are actually really nicely done, nicely beaded. And we do sell indigenous collectibles around here, so that's kind of a bonus. Moccasins, another muscle car, looks like a GTO. Yep, it is a GTO. And diecast was really big maybe 10-15 years ago. People still do collect it now, but there's less and less makers of the stuff. So when you find a collection with some popular cars in it, it's worth picking up because there are still people that look for it. And buying them now, they can be pretty expensive, like $80, $100 each. So even without the boxes, these are still going to be a good find. And yeah, a couple more muscle cars. It's like a Chevelle. Now they're pretty dusty, so I'm going to have to go through and dust all that stuff off. But oh yeah, there's a Superbird. So a nice little collection of die-cast so far, getting the table pretty full. So some die-cast toys. Oh, and there's my missing hood for the truck. There it is. It's a bonus. So make sure I get all my pieces together. Oh, box number 2. We've got a Canon camera. So this is going to be an early, this will be a film, 35mm. And there are still people out there that shoot with cameras. Canon's a pretty good brand. TX, I'll have to check this guy out. And it looks like there was an extra lens in here as well. Teleconverter lens, so a couple bits of camera gear. More toys, so some little die-cast cars. And a lot of this stuff will probably go upstairs in our toy shop that we've got going on. Collectible little die-cast engine. 427. Little gas pump. So far lots of collectibles. Nothing super old as of yet, but you know, you never know. Okay, well there's some books and stuff on the bottom of this box. We're gonna dig through, we'll peel out these collectibles in here and see What's at the bottom of the box? Lots of cars. So there's a lot of books in here, but I'm definitely not going to discount them because some early hot rodding and car books can be pretty collectible. So we're going to go through those. And these look like postcards, but to me they look like they're automotive. So, okay, yeah, that's like a prototype car. Let's see. Oh, George Barris, Barris Custom Shop. Experimental air car, remote controlled. Courtesy of Carcraft Magazine. So these must have been inserts from Carcraft Magazine. They're like big trading cards. That's pretty cool. There's a bunch of these in here. All the Barris Customs. There's some from races back then. Okay, that's a postcard. Not used. So, boy, there's like a stack. There's got to be probably, I don't know, maybe 100 in there. So that's pretty neat. Gonna go through these guys and see. There's some pretty wild custom cars in here. And for the guy who's really into custom cars and old hot rods, something like these cards would be a nice presentation if you had them framed or had them in a book. I'm sure there's lots of guys that would collect this kind of stuff too, so pretty happy with that haul. And like I said, there's got to be about 100 of them there, so pretty darn cool. Let's have a look at the books. So early hot rod books and pulp books, or pulp fiction, is pretty collectible. And you know, we're going to go through and kind of see what's in here. Hopefully there's some cool stuff. And these definitely look like they got some age to them. Like they look certainly 1960s or 70s for sure. Yeah, 1967. So some older stuff in here. There's also How to Build Your Hot Rod Engine from Hot Rod Magazine. That's pretty neat. Right out of the 60s, you could build your old school rod. Yeah, and there's, you start getting in the exploitation and some of that stuff. And there's just piles of them in here. So we're going to unpack all these guys, see what there is. But yeah, I do sell these at the shop, so this is a good find. Oh, there's a watch down there. Let's check it out. Okay, just a little men's Swiss military watch. It's a battery operated one. Not a bad little thing. I mean, somebody would probably buy that. You know, fix the band, fix the bracelet that's on there. And there's another one down here too. Looks like a lady's watch. Crown looks funny. Let's see what it is. It is a, oh, it's a Tudor. Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, these are, I don't know if you can see the crown there. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Tudors are made by Rolex. So that's a pretty good find to have at the bottom of a box. Case by Rolex Geneva, yeah, with the screw down crown. So this would have been like a pretty high-end ladies wristwatch at the time. I don't know if it's working. It doesn't feel like it's winding. I don't know if it's an automatic. So I might have to get a little bit of work done to this one, but pretty good score. Get a ladies Rolex. And I found a couple other interesting pieces. Sometimes the paperback novels can be pretty collectible too. These are, one I believe is a first edition of Hell's Angels, which was put out by Hunter S. Thompson. Of course, you know, famously played by Johnny Depp. His writing is very interesting and can be very collectible as well. So to get two Hunter S. Thompson novels in here, pretty neat. We've hit the bottom of the box and I can see there's a bunch of hot rod magazines, rodding, restyling, but these ones would go back to probably the 1950s. Custom cars. This is early hot rod stuff. So we're going to unpack this. I know I'll have a market for these old hot rod magazines. I mean, who wouldn't think that this is cool? 1962 for that one. Yeah, 1958. Early days of hot rodding, guys. And I've got a whole box full of it. I mean, there are stacks and stacks and stacks of these. This is probably the biggest find of old hot rod magazines I've had in a really long time. So on to the third box, right off the hop, we've got a Mickey Mouse phone. And for those people that actually still have a landline connection, kind of a cool thing. But even if you don't use this guy as a phone, people do collect Disney, they do collect Mickey Mouse, and this is probably from the 70s or 80s, but it's a pretty neat little guy. I'll get him cleaned up and put him on the shelf. There's also a couple other things too. A small portable record player, and this, which if you're into sewing is pretty cool. This is a Featherlight sewing machine from Singer. They're pretty collectible because they're just a nice tiny little size. They fit in this case, very, very good quality, and feather lights are probably one of the last remaining collectible sewing machines out there. And this one's very complete with the pedal and with all the gear. So that's a pretty cool thing to find too. So very happy to get that. And I also got 3 big remote control helicopters. These are gas powered ones. We don't usually sell these at the store, but they are going to be good for the auction, and that's where they're going to go. So going to take these back to the vehicle, load them back in, and those will go to the auction next week. And I also picked up this massive glass case, which I think he had custom built. So he's got a tractor and a semi carrying what looks like a Concorde jet in there. And yeah, that's probably bigger than, well, it was about 1/25th scale or maybe a little bit bigger, and a couple of older plastic model race cars. So hopefully my friend who's into plastic model kits will think this is cool, and I might be able to use this display case in the store somewhere else for some other stuff. So possibly win-win. So another good haul this week. Was really surprised by a few things. One, I'm really happy I got all the old car magazines. I mean, these are going to be good sellers. There's always somebody looking for hot rod stuff, and pretty happy I got such a big variety of them now. Other big bonus, well, the Diecast, those will sell quickly once I get them cleaned up. Plastic model kit should go to my friend. And a lady's Rolex watch. Who knew? I'm glad I searched the bottom of the box because you just never know what's going to be in there. Thanks again for tuning in this week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also check us out online at curiosityedmonton.ca. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.